Hello and welcome back to another Pro HD video. Today we've got another career mode episode, and you can see in the background right now I've got some sped up footage of me doing a massive haul of signings, a complete overhaul of Chelsea here. And I mean, it's just brilliant, isn't it? The way that we can see all these players coming into the club right now, and it is really nice to see that we are actually making progression in many areas of the field. So you can see right now as well we're buying Demarai Gray. That's why one of our targets, one of our new targets, of course, the left midfielder from Birmingham. And Pion Sisto is someone who I ended up scouting in the end. He was purely from the scouting market, which is really nice to see that I've actually brought someone who is purely, well, I'm actually after someone who is purely from the Global Transfer Network and nothing else. Now, Dominic Iorfa, although he's on the list of several other clubs, including the likes of Derby County, well, he's one of them players that I'm sort of like, should I sign, should I not? I think I need to sign him, but he's one of them that I'm really sort of struggling to negotiate with. It's been a while, and a lot of other clubs are after him, so this is the problem that I'm facing here. Now, we've got some more transfer news as we go in for a lot of the Chelsea players that aren't actually at Chelsea in the game, but are there in real life. Of course, these are all players that were out on loan in real life, and in the game they're permanently at their other clubs, which is really quite annoying. There is a few others as well, but I don't go in for every one because I only go in for the ones that I think personally look the best and could do the best. And one of them is Cueva, so I think this guy looks alright, to be fair. I don't know his rating and I don't know his potential, but then Jeremy Boga, I know this guy is a real prospect in real life. I'm hoping he can do well in FIFA, so I put in a bigger bid for him. And Isaiah Brown as well. This guy's at Vitesse. You notice a lot of players are at Vitesse, of course, because Vitesse is owned by Roman Abramovich, so a lot of Chelsea players are actually loaned out at Vitesse right now. But Stripe Perica as well, that's a nice other signing that could be a possibility. Dominic Solanke, he looks really good, and he really could be a good signing. But now we've got a game against Stoke City in the Champions Trophy, which is of course just a friendly tournament. Now, if we don't win this, then we're knocked out the friendly tournament, which is a shame. But I think we could still win this, if I'm honest. I think we're not expecting to win it. Look at the side we've got out. Although it's better than League 2 quality, we've got the likes of Van Ginkel in it, for God's sake. It's almost Championship quality, this side, I would say already. League 1, if nothing else. So, I mean, we could right now, I'd really like to see the star rating of the side. We could right now go into the new season and smash League 2 out and out. But we actually take the lead, as it is, I believe, Kelechi Iheanacho, the Man City striker, who heads over and heads home above, I don't know who's in goal, I don't think it's Chap Butland for them, but it's an amazing header, you've got to admit. It just sneaks over the line as it goes in, and it's just such a nice header. And I just couldn't quite believe that I actually was in the lead here, because it's Stoke and they're a good side. There's no denying that. Kelechi Iheanacho with 1 goal so far. That is his first goal for us, and we are actually on our way at half-time to win the first game of the tournament so far, and our first game as a manager of Chelsea. But Bertrand Traoré does go through as well. His shot is a bit sliced, let's be honest, with the outside of his left foot, but we win. We actually win against Stoke, which means, would you believe it or not, we are through, because the other result elsewhere went our way, and we're actually through despite all the odds. So that was a really lucky win. But it's really good to see that our players are doing well. But we are still unprofessional here, so maybe we will be moving up to world class soon. In fact, we will be moving up to world class soon, because of course this is pre-recorded, and I do move up to world class very soon, so don't worry about that. I was just sort of thawing myself into the game as the game was progressing, and eventually that occurred, obviously. But right now in the background we've just got obviously another showcase of many signings. Thierry Ambrose is one I'm still holding out on, although the guy looks really good. We've got quite a lot of strikers here at Chelsea already. St Just is another player who I'm after. Also Rolando Aarons. We got him in Foot Attack last year, and he was really he looked really good. So we're really hoping that we can sort of progress with him. And we've got a game against Barcelona coming up now. Now this is a really important game. Let's be purely honest. Now, although it's expected that Barcelona won't actually play their first team, it's not expected to depend on what's going to happen in the game. Now, it could be a real test. We could get destroyed. I'm hoping we don't. But we've done okay so far in the tournament, and it is the semi-final. Now, if we lose, we lose. It's expected. I'm not going to expect to win that game. We're a League 2 club at the moment now. And there's a lot of rejections, but there's a lot of accepted transfer offers as well. And Nemanja Matic will be heading to PSG as well, because of course I'm trying to sort out other transfers like that one. And we are going to be able to sell all the players eventually, don't worry, even if it takes all the way to January. Even if it takes us all the way to January, we will be able to sell them all eventually. We won't have them next year for certain, because I will tell you that in this transfer window, we primarily sell pretty much everyone. There will still be a few players left though, of course. But I'm hoping that we can sign as many players to replace them, and we're looking good so far. Of course, it's not difficult to sign players. We've got so much money, but I'm trying to get them for as cheap as possible. Now, the problem is youngsters you have to overpay for either way. But I am trying to get them for as cheap as possible, because I'm hoping that, well, I can get them for as cheap as possible. They'll grow into absolute tanks, and then I can, of course, go ahead and eventually sort everything out. But as you can see, we are going to go into this game here against Barcelona in the Champions Trophy, and it is at La Bombonera again, La Bombonera. I believe this is Boca Juniors Stadium in Argentina, and it's a big game. It's a massive game. If we can get anything out of this, then we put up the difficulty. If we can't, then we might stay as it is, depending on how close the game will be. But they start, of course, on top, as expected. Luis Suarez is playing, and he forces Walton into a brilliant save. A fabulous save by Walton. I absolutely love the bloke so far. We're only in the second game with him, and he's performing so well. He kept a clean sheet last game, of course, and I'm hoping that he can do the same here. If he can, then he'll be a hero, an absolute bloody hero. And as Vidal passes it into Samper, I think it's Serdi Samper or something, passes it back to Luis Suarez, but it is eventually cleared and Walton plays it away. We get a corner, and it is the second half now here against Barcelona, and the header is a bit wayward, so it doesn't reach the goal. Piazon though plays it into Kennedy, and Kennedy eventually manages to turn. The striker hits it, comes back out to Nathan, and Nathan misses a brilliant opportunity. The Brazilian central attacking midfielder just missed a fabulous opportunity to take the lead, and I couldn't believe it was 1-0 still. I mean 0-0 still, because to be honest, Rafinha and the likes of Suarez somehow weren't breaking us down, but then I fell to Iran. And penalties this year are a bit light. It's really easy to give them away, by the way. So I am going to just remind you, try not to do anything on penalties. I hardly clicked a button there, and Iorfa raised his arms just because he was running into him. And now that's just because I was sprinting. That's literally because I was sprinting. So that was a real shame, but then that happened. Yes, that happened. He honestly missed it. Luis Suarez just missed the opportunity to take the lead, and we go in for full time at 0-0. Barcelona have messed it up severely, big time. Now, we shouldn't really be drawing in this side, Barcelona, because we've got a 65 rated goalkeeper. The best player on the pitch is 75 rated, and everyone else is just sort of caught in between that rating. So although we are better than a League 2 side on average, we should smash League 2. We should get pretty much double promotion at the very least, possibly triple promotion to the Premier League, because by the time we get to the Championship, players would have grew. Although that is true, Barcelona should still be beating us. And the fact is, next time I will put it up to world class. This proves that I am too good for professional. I don't even know I was playing on professional, to be honest. I believe that I was just struggling in the demo, but I actually prefer this gameplay to the demo because I was actually struggling on the world class in the demo. But Lucas Piazon gets our first goal and breaks the deadlock. Of course, it is Arda Turan who missed their first penalty for them. Surely Iniesta won't miss one. But he does. That is 3 penalties missed now for Barcelona. I'm not quite sure what's happening with their shooting today. Honestly, I'm professional, and I didn't realise professional was this bloody bad. Seriously, that was really bad. I just couldn't believe it. Rafinha, are they actually going to score a penalty today? Of course they are. Well, only just. I mean, my Walton, the goalkeeper, just sort of flies down. And Van Ginkel shoots, he scores. Now, Barcelona had to score this. This is the deciding penalty. If they do not score this, then they're gone. They're goners. And it is Thomas Vermaelen to step up to the spot. They've only scored one so far. We're winning 3-1 in the shootout. And Walton does the right way, and he's done it! Walton has done it, and I cannot believe it. We've actually won. That is insane. And Palmer comes and celebrates. The whole team comes and celebrates. And what I do like now as well, when you win the penalty shootout, you get to celebrate with the goalkeeper, which is really nice. I didn't quite realise that. I just sort of pressed X, just as you do, and I ran up to the opposition players, and we are in the final of the Champions Trophy. Now, that does mean that we will be putting the difficulty up, by the way, as well. That is too easy. I admit that's probably my bad. If we was on World Class that game, though, then we wouldn't have got an idea of whether we're really good enough. Do you know what I mean? So, because we were on Professional that game, now we know that next time, we know that Professional is way too easy. Because say we was on Professional against, I don't know, a League 2 side, and we beat them 4-0, we could have, that could be normal. We was expecting to beat them. Anyway, I did enjoy watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you smash the like button, and I will see you next time for another episode of Career Mode.